Hey everyone, I'm Mike from the parkprodigy.com, and I recently went and spent a full day at Universal's newest park, Epic Universe, and I walked away learning 3 new things that I genuinely did not expect, including one that can save your family an hour and a half of standing in line. And that's why in today's video I'm about to break down those 3 things that you need to know if you're planning a trip to Universal Orlando, specifically to go check out the newest park, Epic Universe. The first one is a restaurant that I think might be the single best place to eat in any theme park in Orlando. And I say that as somebody born and raised in New York, so trust me, I don't hand that out lightly. The second one is going to save you almost $85 per person, and the third one is a timing hack that almost nobody is using because it feels completely wrong. As always, I'm very excited, so let's go get started. Thank you again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, I'm about to break down 3 tips that I learned on my last Epic Universe trip that you need to know about. But before we jump in, if you are planning that Universal Orlando trip and it seems like you need more planning and news videos like this, just be sure to hit that subscribe button, as I have a lot more Universal Orlando content coming out in the coming weeks. But jumping in, starting with tip number 1 that I learned, and that is that the Blue Dragon might be the best theme park restaurant in Orlando. So we're starting with the food because this is something that is very dear to my heart. I love to eat. I love trying new restaurants, and my wife and I recently did a food video on Epic Universe, and we tried a bunch of food, sort of rating it best and worst. And one of the hidden surprises, I would say actually the biggest surprise that I walked away with on our date at Epic, was that the Blue Dragon Pan-Asian restaurant in Celestial Park is sort of the hidden gem of this park, in my opinion. I feel like it's sort of tucked away between Dark Universe and Helios Grand Hotel. Maybe people are just walking right past it and don't really realize that it is a restaurant. So if you're not looking for it, you very well could just miss it. And then, so like I said, I am born and raised in New York. I live in Florida now, but honestly, finding good food restaurants to go to is a little difficult in Orlando. They are getting a lot better, I will say that, but when it comes to Chinese food, quote unquote, it can be difficult. And this is why I was so very surprised, and I loved our meal that we got at the Blue Dragon. So we were eating a ton of food that day, so we shared a bunch of different items. We got the pork soup dumplings, we got the wontons in chili oil, and we also got the beef and broccoli, which came with white rice. And we were really impressed with really everything that we ate. I personally loved the beef and broccoli the best. I thought it had really good flavor. My wife really enjoyed the pork soup dumplings. We both enjoyed the wontons and chili oil. We said we would have gone back to this restaurant pretty much every day that we were at Epic, and we were upset that we left it for the last. And that's why I believe that you really should consider going and checking it out if you do like Chinese food. If you are trying to do a sit-down restaurant at Epic Universe, I don't think that you're going to be disappointed. I also will say that the room in the restaurant itself was so well themed. It was just a really cool vibe in there. It had some really like huge LED signs, kind of almost felt like bar signs, but it was in the shape of dragons and all this really just sort of cool themings on the wall. They also had a cool bar area, and speaking of the bar, they had a bunch of different sakes on the menu, which of course added to the ambiance and just added to that experience of trying something new. It's not every day you go out to your local bar and there's a bunch of different sakes on the menu, so I personally really enjoyed that. I did try a new sake. I wasn't a fan of the sake I tried, but with that said, that's kind of the experience. You're on vacation, you're trying something new, you're seeing if you like it, and then maybe you can go back home and you sort of get it again. I thought it was just something that was so unique. And for me, being in the theme parks, I don't get to do stuff that's sort of new a lot and very often, and that's why Epic is so much fun for us still. And I thought this was just a really great restaurant that you should consider. Okay, moving over to tip number 2, and this is something that I see constantly in the Facebook group. So being the owner of the Park Prodigy, we pretty much plan Universal Orlando vacations all day, every day for our clients, but we also love this. We're actively involved in the Facebook groups, constantly seeing what people are asking, what they're having trouble with. This question I have seen so much, and the truth is I have asked team members at Universal, and I personally have gotten different answers to this question, which I think adds to the confusion. So the question is, will my original Harry Potter interactive wand still work at Epic Universe? So if you're unfamiliar with the interactive wands, essentially the way that it works is Universal really at this point, they sort of have 3 different wands. The first Harry Potter wand is just pretty much non-interactive. It's just a regular sort of stick where it's cool, but it doesn't really do much. The second wand is sort of Universal's interactive wand. So that's the one that if you visited visited Universal in the past, you've pretty much been able to go to Diagon Alley in Universal Studios Florida or Hogsmeade Village in Islands of Adventure, and you can cast spells throughout the lands. So Universal, with the Generation 2 wands, they pretty much launched a new section within the app where you can track your spell abilities, you can pretty much track your score and like your wizard progression over time, which is really cool. Kind of has that video game aspect to it, that sort of just unlocking new feature aspect to it. My wife and I, we have the Generation 2 wands. They're a lot of fun. But of course, if you've spent money on the old wand and like you don't care about tracking your score, you're just trying to have some fun in the parks, it's great to know that those original interactive wands will work in Epic Universe. And again, like I said, part of the confusion here is we asked a long time ago when we were in Islands of Adventure and we had our Generation 1 interactive wands, there was a new spell location and we went up to do it. And I think the team member, because the location was so new, I feel like she just misspoke, but she pretty much told us like, hey, the original wands won't work at the new locations. So we were like, okay, what does that mean for Epic? And so we were confused as well. So what we did on this last trip was we did ask a team member inside the wand shop, and then we also went and we actually tested and we used our original interactive wand, and just like they had mentioned, you can use it. So I think this is a slam dunk. This will save you potentially $85 per kid if you already have the original interactive wands and you're okay with just bringing them, like I said. So I thought that was a slam dunk. We were happy to finally get an answer on the interactive wands. And if you're in the process of planning that Universal Orlando trip and you're listening to this and you're like, Mike, you just mentioned 3 different wands, like I don't know what you're talking about, I just want to take my kids to have a great time in the theme parks, just be sure to go check out our website, theparkprodigy.com. Like I said, we are full-blown Universal Orlando vacation planners. We are preferred actually Universal Orlando vacation planners, and I get so many comments on our videos saying, Mike, thank you so much, we love your channel. I love and appreciate all the support, and so many people constantly ask me like, how can we support you guys? And the truth is, if you're planning a trip, this is really how you could support us. In return, we could support you. Because we are travel agents, it doesn't cost you anything extra. We actually earn a commission directly from Universal Orlando, so you're pretty much getting the exact same vacation package, but we actually do discount them, so you're guaranteed to save versus booking direct. But on top of that, you will get all of our support from theme park experts, making sure that you are prepared every step of the way, and we will make sure that you have an amazing family vacation. There is a link in the show notes if you do want to fill out the questionnaire to get a free vacation package quote. Okay, over to tip number 3, and the one that's going to save you the most time in the parks, and that is you can get in line for the Toothless meet and greet essentially 1 minute before the park closes. So here's what I mean by this. If you didn't know, in How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berg section of Epic Universe, there is a very popular Toothless meet and greet, which is the dragon from the movie How to Train Your Dragon. And this is a very intimate meet and greet, and it's not just like, oh, hey, take a picture real quick. It usually lasts like a couple minutes, maybe like 1 to 2 minutes, sort of each family. And so with that, the line for this meet and greet is typically long. I would say on average, it typically in the middle of the day will fall around 90 minutes. And the big reason is because Hiccup is usually there with him and Astrid, and you can see other sort of Vikings. Typically Astrid and the other Vikings are sort of roaming around the meet and greet a lot of times. So people are constantly trying to go and take advantage of this meet and greet. And the other important thing is it's not part of the Universal Express Pass, which means that no matter what, most people have to wait in this line. But on our last trip, we learned 2 really cool things. The first was that we walked up to the meet and greet and the posted wait time was 60 minutes, but it didn't look like 60 minutes. So I actually just asked the team member, I said, hey, is this a 60-minute wait? And she had explained like, no, it's really probably like a 30-minute wait, but we're keeping it at 60 minutes because the Untrainable Dragon show is about to get out, and we just know that a lot of people are going to get on the line, and it's probably going to go up to 60 minutes within the next couple minutes. So what I would say here is it doesn't hurt to ask. If you're unsure, if you're like, hey, it looks like it might be less than, let's say, a posted 70-90-minute wait, just ask the team member, and they could very well just tell you like, hey, it's actually going to be shorter than that, and maybe you decide to go and hop on the line. But the really important thing that I learned is that you can actually go and get on the line for the meet and greet pretty much right up until the park closes, meaning if the park closes at 9 p.m., you can go hop on this line to meet Toothless at 8:58. And this is a tip and trick that we usually see when it comes to rides. So many people comment on my videos and they're like, go on Hagrid's at night, the wait time is 30 minutes, and it's a great tip. I've never actually thought about it from a meet and greet standpoint, but the truth is there's never really been a meet and greet with this sort of kind of high demand at Universal Orlando anyway in a very, very long time. So if you're trying to get the most out of your day, and like rides are the top priority, but if you're hitting early park admission and you're really getting through your day a lot quicker than you thought you would, but you wanted to go and do the Toothless meet and greet, flight, just keep an eye on the time, because it very well might be possible for you to go and hop on it even right before the park closes and avoid that 90-minute wait in the middle of the day. Okay, but that is it, everyone. So to recap, go and book your Blue Dragon dining reservations right now. I think it is the best meal definitely in Epic Universe and possibly in any Universal Orlando theme park. Number 2, don't rebuy your interactive Generation 2 wand if you already have an original interactive wand and you kind of just okay with not tracking your score. And third, if you're in a pinch but still want to do the Toothless meet and greet, remember that you can still go get on this line up until park close, which can be a great way to save time. I hope you found this video helpful. Just be sure to drop a comment below and tell me what tips and tricks you picked up on your Epic Universe day that you think everyone else should know about. And like I said, if you are in the process of planning that Universal Orlando trip but you need a little additional help, just be sure to fill out our free quote form down below and you can get the help of me, my team's help, planning an amazing Universal Orlando family vacation that costs you absolutely nothing extra. I hope you found this video helpful, and until next time, I will talk to you soon.